Welcome back, everyone. It was just a few short weeks ago when then Mayor-elect Mike Bell was on this show. During that program, the mayor told us that reality television was in his future. The man behind a pilot program focusing on Toledo City government is Robert Russ. And Robert joins us in studio today to talk about this reality television show surrounding Toledo City government. Good to have you, Robert.
It's good to be here. Thank you.
Tell us, first of all, 2 weeks in, it's been a stressful couple of weeks for the mayor as he takes a look at this ever-growing budget deficit. How's it going?
It's going well. Well, for the show, it's going well. And I think that you have a very good leader at the helm, a good team up there. They are facing incredible difficulties, but there's calmness and you know, they're moving forward. They're determined to fix the problem. It's impressive.
All right, well, take us inside the day one of your program. You show up, what, to Government Center with your cameras and your audio equipment, and you are there. Are you there for? Do you have all access to what's going on?
We're not really there to cover the same thing the media would be there to cover. There's a lot of media coverage, and of course, very important fourth pillar of our society. We're more there to show the before and after the news story, how things end up on the news and stuff like that. So if anything's very delicate that could jeopardize anything with city business, we don't want to be there to jeopardize it. Our number one thing is do no harm.
Okay, if you can, take us inside news conference yesterday, or as we tape here on Friday. Yesterday, the mayor calls a news conference, if I'm remembering the days correctly, after he had talked with union leaders and asking for some give back, realizing the budget deficit is bigger than even anyone thought. It could be $44 million. Do you see what happens just before that meeting with the unions? Some tension involved? You know, were you there? Were the cameras there?
I am there at times. I wasn't there for that specific moment. You have to remember I'm the tip of the spear right now. And part of what I'm doing is creating footage to sell the show, to get a show order. But the other thing that I'm doing is kind of easing into it gently, because there's a lot of people that aren't used to having cameras around constantly. Most people aren't. Right. So it's important that they know, you know, that they kind of get used to it, acclimated to the fact that there are cameras around.
This is not the Truman Show.
No, it's not. It's not. No,
not even close.
No.
But yeah, I can imagine somebody who has not been around that. It can be invasive.
A little bit. You know, most of these people are pretty high profile, but we are dealing with people that aren't. You know, it's not just the mayor. It's you know, there's 4 people up on 22 that are his constant companions and advisors and help him make, you know, determinations on things. They might not be as familiar in front of the camera, but they're more familiar than, let's say, the directors. You know, so as we work our way down, I rode in a snowplow the other day. I don't believe, you know, anyone's taken the time to say how challenging is it to drive a snowplow. So, you know, we're just acclimating in nice and slow, and then we'll amp it up, and everyone will kind of know what our purpose is and what we're doing and be comfortable with it, because we want people to be comfortable.
Robert, I know it's early, still 2 weeks in, but is there one point that happened over the last 2 weeks that you said, boy, that we knocked it out of the park, that's a great piece that we can sell? There
are several.
Can you share with us?
Well, one example, I was riding with the Toledo Police Department, and the officer I was with, I said, could you tell me, you know, how you feel about, you know, Mayor Bell? It turns out that he's a fellow Harley rider and doesn't really know him well, but happened to be in Sturgis where all the bikers get together, and who does he run into walking down the middle of the street in Sturgis? It's Mayor Bell. Well, he wasn't mayor yet. Right. So, you know, that's a great moment, because it all ties everything together as far as, you know, the story behind, because we're not just saying he's the mayor of Toledo, we're also saying that, you know, he has a personal life too. Part of this is when we see politicians, they're working. But they're human beings just like us. And I think politics have gotten very, very rough. And I think sometimes we need to step back and say, these are human beings. You know, I think that's important to do.
How will you go out and sell this show? Do you think it has a good chance to be picked up somewhere? Why is Toledo City government interesting to people who don't live here?
I think that the problems that we face as a city, especially right now, many cities are facing. I think that people will see, they'll root for, just like they root in their own hometown for their local Democrat, Republican, their female, whatever. They will do the same with our show. And if ultimately when people better understand the enormous job these people have undertaken, they might be more helpful in their own communities to be involved in their own politics. Local government touches you on a daily basis. Federal government, not so much. Every day your trash is picked up, your water's turned on, you call 911. These are all things that are directly affect your life on a daily basis.
How much help do you have doing this, Robert? Is it just, you said the tip of the spear, but is it just you right now?
It is not just me. I have several partners involved. I'm handling most of the Toledo end because I have relationships with everybody across the board. And I also, it was very important that in the beginning of this, that they had a recognizable face with that camera, that, you know, the strangeness of that camera also comes with somebody they know and trust. So.
How much video per day do you have to go back and take a look at? I mean, you're rolling for a long time. I am. Imagine.
Yeah. Typically, I guess if you wanted to average it out over the course of the last couple weeks, I'm probably at about 2 hours a day right now. And I'm also getting footage from other sources and stuff like that. It's not just me. I am learning a little bit about sleep deprivation. But you know, it's also, you know, part of this in any show. Even once it makes air, they're still tinkering with it. You know, the only important thing with this show was it is designed as a franchise show. So
is Mike Bell the star of the show?
Well, he would be, the city's the star.
Okay.
I love what he says. He says it's not I, it's we. And that's kind of what this is. It's a celebration of the entire city. And it's also an opportunity. For every negative comment I've heard, I have 10 small business owners, people that have things they're trying to get out there publicly, come and thank me for what I'm trying to do, or what I'm doing. 35 years ago, Jamie Farr mentioned Tony Pacos and the Mud Hens. That's what the world knows about us.
That kind of took off, didn't it?
Yes, it did. And I think it's time to remind everybody we have the greatest Hungarian hot dog, the greatest AAA ball club, and a heck of a lot of other things as well.
Yeah, well, I hope it gets picked up, because I think it would be we'd certainly love to see it.
Well, so. I might have some interesting news for you very soon.
All right, Robert Russ, thanks very much.
Thank you, Lee.
And best of luck 2 weeks into this reality television program that is Toledo City Government. And we come back in just a minute. We'll talk Toledo City Government, local politics, Sandy Eisenberg and Skylar Meadows in Tape 3. Just a minute.